Morning, guys. So it is the moment of truth. Let's see. One more time. Okay, so you just saw 83.9. It is 0.5 kilos lower, which is like basically 1 pound. So it's like 1 pound less than yesterday. For the past like 3-4 days, I was basically almost plateaued, kind of. I didn't do anything special, as I said. I haven't switched to, for example, I haven't done my regular thing that I was doing with the carb cycling. I didn't do that either. So it is not like all water weight kind of thing. And this is also why I was holding on to not switching things, because I really wanted to see what was going on. Okay, because I knew that it was supposed to move. As I said, I was seeing that when I see myself in front of the mirror, I was looking leaner and leaner, but the scale wasn't showing it basically. And now it did. So that's why when I talk about like weight plateaus, and when I tell you not to make drastic changes right away and then just, wait for a little more, like some of you messaged me in the past as well, when I also told you that, wait just a few more days. This is the reason basically. Okay, you don't want to go like too low right away. There is no need. And as you see, now it changed. I didn't change anything, like literally nothing extra, nothing like less in terms of carbs or anything. Okay, everything was the same. Calories were the same. Suddenly the weight drops like 0.5 kilos. So yeah, so I'm still gonna have my regular breakfast, which is basically the protein pudding kind of thing with oatmeals, porridge, or whatever you call it, I don't know. So I'll see you guys at the gym, right? I'm at the gym now. It's leg day, so you're gonna start with walking lunges just like last week, and then continue onwards. Finally, the weight has been lost, so we beat the scale. So, done with walking lunges. Now, most of you will not notice this, so I feel like I have to tell you why I do certain things. If you've seen, like in my past workouts doing walking lunges, I always wear a belt, right? This time I didn't wear it. So one of the reasons why I don't do that is, first of all, I had a good sleep yesterday. And overall my core area, the core region, I feel quite strong today, okay? So for that very reason, just to test myself out and also work on my core muscles basically, I've performed the exercise without wearing a belt, all right? So sometimes I do this kind of stuff, and it's just to see improvement and slowly basically build up to that whatever I built during that, my strength, my endurance or whatever, all right? So I don't like relying on like belts or like straps or wraps or all that kind of stuff, all right? So I feel like you need to naturally and gradually get rid of these things, all right? Like certain ones, of course, I mean, like when it comes to a point, like wraps and stuff like that is like unavoidable, but I'm not talking about that, all right? So for example, like for this exercise, I've done it without a belt. It was completely fine. But on my sumo squats now, I'm gonna be wearing a belt because there is no need to push it, all right? So this is when I tell you, like, moderation. This is one of the things that I always talk about. Take things in moderation. There's no need to, for example, like completely not wear a belt and like end up like injuring myself. Okay, I've done one exercise. It's a win for today. All right, that's it. So now back onto protection. Always wear protection. Done with sumo squats. I'm gonna talk to you more when I catch my breath. I feel much better now. I'm still like, catching my breath, but yeah. So what I wanted to tell you about is that the belt thing that I mentioned, I want to give a little bit more information to you about this. I mean, I talked about it in some of my videos, but I've had 3 herniated discs. Okay, I still have like the x-rays and all that kind of stuff at home. So I'm paying specific attention to like any exercise that involves a lot of my back, and then it kind of like puts me in a position where I'm more prone to injury, okay? So this is something I care about a lot. And when I'm doing, for example, I told you that I felt like I was strong enough that I didn't put on the belt for that exercise. That doesn't mean that just, don't put on the belt and perform all 3 sets or 5 sets or whatever sets you're doing, all right? It is just, I'm just trying to tell you that, let's say I started without the belt, all right? In the middle of my first set, I felt like, okay, like this is not going well. I would put on the belt right away, okay? Or let's say I did 2 sets and I still have like 1 or 2 more sets to go. I would still put on the belt before continuing further, all right? So I've done 3 sets, I felt completely fine. But before jumping onto sumo squats, I thought, okay, I don't want to like stop in the middle of the set and stuff, so there's no need to risk it. So I put on the belt, all right? So I just want you to understand this concept. But I'm telling you to, kind of like try to get better at stuff, and also like see like if you're improving. I'm not telling you to test yourself to your absolute limits, all right? Be very cautious in what you're doing and do it accordingly. Like be a little bit smart about it, all right? Because what I'm telling you is not exactly how you're feeling probably about a certain thing. Just be smart about it, think about it, all right? And also the first 2 exercises, which is basically the hardest part of this day, is over now. So congrats if you're past that. Now we are gonna move on to calf raises. We are gonna do 7 sets until failure. And after that we are gonna do hex squats, and you can switch that with like Smith squat or whatever, all right? So let's go with the calf raises. Another thing about like preventing injuries, I don't know if you pay attention to my like sumo squats, and in my programs I tell you like 3 sets of 20, right? And if you actually paid attention, I've never done 20 on sumo squats. I always pass 20. Actually this week I was up to, my first set I was up to 26, second set 25, third set 24, okay? So what I'm trying to tell you is that and I can do more than that, yeah? Like my first set, I could have easily gone 30, okay? But I'm not forcing it because I don't want to injure myself, okay? There is no need to risk it too much to a point where you're going to injure yourself, or you're going to put yourself in a position where you are more prone to injury, okay? There's no need to force things too much, especially if you're dealing with an existing or a previous injury on your back specifically, okay? So please, please, please take note of these here, okay? Always remember these. So if you watched last week's episode of this day, this hex squat machine is new, and also it was my first time actually using this particular brand's hex squat machine, right? And I was trying to get used to the weights, and on my 3rd set I continuously increased the weights, and on my 3rd set I moved it up to 60 pounds, all right? So on each side, of course. So and I performed 14 reps with it, all right? And now this week I'm starting off with the weight that I left basically last week, okay? And this is basically what's kind of like the progressive overload thing that I talk about like very often, all right? So I'm gonna start up with this one, and we'll see whether I can, further progress or not. Just as I expected, I did 18 reps with 60 pounds. Now I moved it up to, hold on. Now it is up to 70 pounds on each side. Alright, finally the size of the day, and then our leg day is over. Alright, finally done with legs. It was a very good leg workout. I'm really happy with my performance today. So I'm gonna see you guys later at recap, right? Peace. Hey guys, so it's recap time. Finally the scale has moved, finally. I was expecting this to happen, but you know, as I said, it kind of still messes with my head. Constantly like checking it, and also, you know, like this whole series that I'm making. The reason why I'm telling you that I was expecting this is because yesterday I told you that I'm not gonna be changing anything until like Saturday or so. And this was the main reason basically. I was waiting for something to happen because otherwise it just doesn't make sense for nothing happening basically, because I'm doing everything that I used to be doing and it doesn't show on the scale. So eventually now I think it's kind of like catching up, and it's gonna continue like this, I believe. There might be some ups and downs, but it's not gonna be too crazy, I believe. But like next week, I'll see how the situation is. On Sunday, I will do a physique update again as usual. And on Sunday, I'll see how the situation looks like, how my body looks like, and will I be able to get to the point in the remaining 3 weeks, because we are almost done with this whole 6-week challenge thing, alright? So, I mean, everything is going really well. I really like what I'm seeing in front of the mirror, and there's a massive difference, I think, compared to what I looked like in the beginning till now. And also, of course, I mean, obviously, considering the fact that I almost lost 4 kilos. So, there is, of course, a massive difference. Therefore, I will see if I'm gonna be able to catch up to, you know, what I'm trying to get to. Because what I'm trying to do with this transformation specifically that is very different from what I did in the past is that I'm trying to preserve as much muscle as possible and also my strength along with it, okay? This is something that I wasn't really paying attention when I initially first started doing my first body transformation that most likely made you find this channel. So this is the big difference. So that's why I actually want to take things a little bit slower, actually a lot slower, and not trying to like rush things too much, because I want to keep my muscle, I want to keep my strength after I'm done with this transformation, because after the transformation actually there is something that I'm planning to do, so it's going to be even more fun, but I'm going to talk about that in the future. And as for today's workout, it was a great workout, but please, 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 I don't know if you guys are skipping those or not, watch specifically today's workout episode, alright? The section, I mean, the workout section, because you're gonna see that I've been giving like a lot of tips and stuff for people, you know, to prevent injuries, and if you have injuries, what to do and stuff like that, alright? So go and watch that, it doesn't take too much, it's like a few minutes, so just, it's worth your time, trust me, alright? And aside from that, I mean, tomorrow is a pull day, so I like my pull days. I mean, as long as it's not a leg day, I love them. so just, you know, so I like my pull days, I like my push days, I'm just not a big fan of leg days. But I still perform them just as good, if not even like better than the other days, okay? Just because I don't like it doesn't mean that I don't give it the effort that it deserves, alright? That's kind of like the mentality you need to have, especially if you want to have a balanced physique, okay? If not, I mean, the choice is yours, you know, I don't judge. So, that's pretty much it for today's video. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys tomorrow on pull day.